I know my boundaries. I want to fight Anthony Joshua exclusive because I know that I will beat Anthony Joshua's ass. I know I will
got knocked out, right?
Yeah. He doesn't have a chin and he has no skill and he's stiff. And I love you, Anthony. We're friends. All this, but I want to fight you.
AJ this morning, he went, listen, of course I'd fight. I mean, if the question was asked to Jai, would you fight Jake Paul? And there was,
I wouldn't fight him. I'd bash him.
Yeah, but he might do it. He might just do it for just for doing it for the sake of it. But obviously we know. Listen, Jake creates massive events.
Look into the camera and say it directly because it just has to be said. Jake Paul, sir, you are absolutely delusional.
Jake Paul has made it clear he wants to fight top boxers, and now Anthony Joshua has responded. Speaking through his promoter Eddie Hearn, Joshua has simply said, "Listen, I'd fight him." Hearn emphasized that AJ never backs down from a challenge. While the chances of this fight happening are slim due to their experience gap, Joshua's openness has sparked curiosity. Whether Paul is serious or just stirring things up is unclear. But one thing is certain, AJ is always ready to step in the ring.
Yeah, I want to ask you a question because the world of media went mental this morning. Anthony Joshua against Jake Paul. Please put this to bed or light the fire. What's going on?
I mean, sorry. This is the first time I've spoken about the fight. To be honest, like, I look at it and I think Jake Paul against Anthony Joshua. I mean, look, for me, we'll do it for the banter. Do you know what I mean? Like, AJ would fight Jake Paul. He'd fight anyone, to be honest with you. And if Jake Paul wants to step up and fight Anthony Joshua, he'll need the relevant insurance. But, the only thing that was disappointing was he says 2026. I mean, that's like calling someone out. That's like me saying, LA Olympics for the surfing 2028, I'll be there. Do you know what I mean? Do it in 2025 if you really want to do it. You're not going to get really much better at this stage, but I don't know. Those two have spoken. I spoke to AJ this morning. He went, listen, of course I'd fight. I mean, if the question was asked to Jai, would you fight Jake Paul? And there was,
I wouldn't fight him. I'd bash him.
Yeah, but he might do it. He might just do it for just for doing it for the sake of it. But obviously we know. Listen, Jake creates massive events, right? You know that's going to create like unbelievable viewership. And no disrespect to Jake Paul, it's a straightforward night's work. But I like this calling out of Canelo and all this. AJ it's another challenge up there. But if they're game, why not?
What did he say, AJ, to you about it?
He said, why not? I said, what do you want me to say when I'm asked about it? And he said, tell everyone I'll fight anyone, anytime. It's not a problem for me.
Jake Paul is taking shots at Anthony Joshua, claiming he lacks durability, skill, and flexibility. The YouTuber turned boxer tweeted a photo of Joshua on a call with the caption, "Look who called 2026 Anthony Joshua." Paul insists he can beat AJ, adding more fuel to the speculation. In response, Joshua posted a screenshot of his call with Paul on Instagram, keeping the conversation going. Fans are now debating whether this fight could really happen. Paul even shared a statement from BVAFA Sports, revealing he sent a list of desired opponents for 2025 and 2026, including Joshua. Right after the Canelo fight negotiations fell apart, Paul later confirmed he wants to make the fight happen. But many believe his ambition to challenge a heavyweight like Joshua is unrealistic.
The real deal respond to me as I tweeted my thoughts about delusion, which again, I think is more about what Jake said about Anthony Joshua and what he'll do to him. That was the more delusional aspect of this. Amanda Serrano said, at Jake Paul is the truth. Funny, they say he's a fraud for wanting easy fights. Then he asked for the toughest fights ever and they say he's nuts. Listen, he was scheduled to fight Canelo, Gervonta, and now he's calling out Joshua. Come on, who else is doing this? Oh crap, on second thought, he is out of his freaking mind, you're right. That was more of just Amanda backing her guy, you know what I'm saying? The co-founder of MVP and someone that she really respects. And
adding to Jake Paul's boxing ambitions, reports suggest he is also lined up to fight Gervonta Tank Davis. This comes right after Davis's controversial fight with Lamont Roach. Despite this, Paul continues to express his desire to fight Anthony Joshua, showing his determination to take on top-tier opponents across different weight classes.
Gervonta Davis, and she's not the only one saying that. Dan Raphael said the same thing earlier that day or maybe yesterday. I can't believe that that's true or if that was really going to happen. Essentially, the idea being, had Gervonta Davis beat Lamont Roach, he was going to fight Jake Paul next. And this is why I say, like, it's delusional but it's possible. Like, he almost had the Canelo fight, and think what you will about how that went down and how realistic that was going to be. I legit think it was probably close to happening. Now you're telling me there were discussions and potentially, you know, signed to fight Gervonta Tank Davis. And again, I do believe the reason for that is Jake's massive size advantage. Again, that's like a 100-pound weight advantage. How would that even work?
After his fight with Lamont Roach, Gervonta Davis made headlines by calling out Jake Paul during the post-fight press conference. This unexpected challenge adds another twist to the ongoing saga of Paul's boxing career.
Who were you gonna call out? What was the plan originally?
I think he was here. He came in my locker room.
Shakur Stevenson?
He wasn't in my locker room.
Jake Paul?
Next question.
Man, god damn, that's not the Gervonta I know.
Jake Paul's challenge to Anthony Joshua, a two-time heavyweight champion, has shocked the boxing world. Many can't believe Paul, with his limited experience, is confident enough to call out a fighter of Joshua's caliber. His bold statements have sparked debates among fans and experts alike.
Jake Paul has just called Anthony Joshua out. Yes, Anthony Joshua, AJ, the two-time unified heavyweight champion of the world. This brother called this man out. Oh my God. Now, in a recent clip on Jake Paul's podcast, I think, he basically said that he will beat Anthony Joshua's ass and he has no skill, no chin, and he's too stiff for him. He also apologized to Anthony, saying, Anthony, I'm sorry, we're friends, but I know I can beat your ass. This guy is tapped in the head. Then again, he almost got a fight with Tank. If Tank beat Lamont Roach when they drew, he would have fought Jake Paul. It was lined up, basically. A lot of people get mad when people say he's the face of boxing. These highly rated boxers want to fight Jake Paul. So, I don't know what to say, honestly. But one thing for sure, AJ will never fight. AJ's too classy for that. Way too classy. He respects the sport of boxing too much to fight this guy. Absolute plonker. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments, and make sure you follow for the most up-to-date and sharpest box news and content on TikTok.
The boxing world has reacted swiftly to Jake Paul's comments about Anthony Joshua. Critics point to Paul's loss against Tommy Fury as proof that he isn't qualified to judge Joshua's skills. One Twitter user sarcastically wrote, YouTube boxer Jake Paul, who lost to Tommy Fury, claims heavyweight Anthony Joshua has no chin, no skill, and is stiff. What is this guy talking about? Despite the skepticism, Joshua hasn't ruled out the fight, as revealed by Eddie Hearn. Hearn quoted AJ saying, listen, I'd fight him. However, many in the boxing community see this as an unrealistic matchup due to their skill and experience. Gap.
Well then, it looks like Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul might be in discussions to fight. They were both on a call to each other earlier, and the viral video went round of Jake Paul saying he would knock out Anthony Joshua. If I'm being completely honest, I think Jake Paul would actually be lucky to make it out alive, and I'm actually being dead serious. I think Jake Paul will be lucky to make it out of the ring with Anthony Joshua alive. Tyron Woodley literally had Jake Paul on skates and had Jake Paul panicking for his life. Imagine what Anthony Joshua would do. Look at what Joshua did to the last non-boxer he fought in Francis Ngannou. That is not going to end well for Jake Paul. But look, let's be real here. This fight should never happen. It's an absolute disgrace to the sport if it does. And yeah, there's got to be a lot of backlash if this actually happens, because it's actually probably worse to the sport of boxing than what Fury in Ngannou was when it came around, or or Mayweather McGregor. It can't happen.
MMA fighter Anthony Smith has weighed in on Jake Paul's boxing strategy, claiming Paul picks big-name opponents to secure massive paydays. Smith believes Paul's approach is simple: call out legends, trash talk them, and land high-profile fights. This pattern has led to debates among boxing purists about whether Paul's matchmaking is legitimate.
If Jake Paul beats Anderson Silva, we should all fucking boycott the rest of his fights until he fucking fights someone that's on his level, or whatever level we deem him to be on. You talk all this shit about MMA fighters, you talk shit about the UFC, then you pretend that you want to bring fighters up and you want everyone to get paid better, but then you trash everyone every time they fight. Now we're putting food on your fucking table for you to drag our legends, older, shorter, smaller, past their prime legends that have spent their entire careers running their bodies into fucking car accidents, and then we hold these guys near and dear to our heart. And then this fuckhead just pulls them out of fucking semi-retirement and then just knocks them out in fucking pay-per-view and then she'll shits on all of us. Like, go fuck yourself. Like, why are we still fucking pandering to this piece of shit?
Paul isn't just focused on boxing, he also wants to fight MMA superstar Conor McGregor. Paul claims his boxing skills are improving while implying that McGregor's have declined with age. Fans and experts are skeptical, considering McGregor's impressive combat sports record. However, Paul's callouts continue his strategy of challenging high-profile fighters to keep his name relevant in the fight world.
You think McGregor's done?
I think he has to come back and fight, but he needs to win.
Will he fight you?
I don't think he will. I think my skill level is outgrowing his in boxing, and I have the height advantage. He can't beat me, and I think he probably knows that. And time, he's only getting older, and I'm only getting better.
Fans are eager to see Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul, mainly because they believe Joshua would dominate the fight. Paul's habit of calling out elite fighters has made him one of the most controversial figures in combat sports, while most view his confidence as unrealistic given the difference in skill, experience, and weight class. The idea of the fight has still captured people's attention. Some fans are hoping Joshua will finally silence Paul's bold talk with a knockout.
You have got to be taking the mick. Jake Paul has called out Anthony Joshua and claims, I will fucking beat Anthony Joshua's ass. You know what? I want this to happen just so Anthony Joshua could just absolutely decimate this man right here. So first he fights Tommy Fury, a legitimate professional boxer, and he loses. Then he fights an OAP in Mike Tyson and beats him. Obviously, he's nearly 60 years old. Then he goes to try and fight Canelo, which fell through, thankfully. Then he tried to fight Tank Davis, which again fell through. And now he wants to fight Anthony Joshua, a legit world-level heavyweight boxer. Anthony Joshua is someone that I've always looked up to and probably one of my favourite boxers to this day and age. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind Jake Paul here and there, but there's just things he does in the sport that I don't agree with at all. And fighting Anthony Joshua, listen, I'm all here for it, just to see him get knocked clean out. The fact that he thinks he can compete with these high-level boxers, even though he lost to Tommy Fury, is just laughable. But how long does it take for Anthony Joshua to knock Jake Paul out? I'm saying 5 seconds.
Anthony Joshua has shared his thoughts on Jake Paul's growing influence in boxing. While he acknowledges that Paul lacks experience, Joshua admits that Paul has helped bring more money into the sport. He recognizes that Paul's ability to attract viewers has introduced boxing to a new audience, something that traditional boxing fans may not like but can't ignore.
Jake Paul?
Yeah, good. Great for boxing. Good luck to him. He's trying. Zero amateur experience. Throwing himself in the deep end. I guarantee you he'll probably learn a lot more than a lot of fighters will that are just half-hearted with it. Man's throwing himself in the deep end, putting himself under pressure. When you can deal with that amount of pressure, you have to get better at it. So yeah, good luck to him. Good luck to him.
Jake Paul has previously praised Anthony Joshua, once calling him one of his favorite fighters, despite his recent trash talk. Paul has openly respected Joshua's skills and accomplishments. However, his latest comments suggest growing frustration with boxing, arguing that money and politics are getting in the way of making the biggest fights happen.
Everyone's been wanting to see happen. Who will be the king of the United Kingdom? And who will be the queen of the United... Too soon? I'm praying that boxing doesn't happen to this fight. And what I mean by that is politics. People trying to take more money than they deserve. Fuck the money. Get in there. Make fucking history. This is one of the biggest fights that could happen over this past decade. Make it fucking happen, Eddie Hearn. Make it fucking happen, Frank Warren. Make it happen, Tyson. Make it happen, Anthony Joshua. We don't need fucking excuses. Don't let boxing ruin this fight. Get in the fucking ring and fight like men.
Jake Paul has made a bold statement, claiming he is the only real fighter in boxing because he brings unmatched excitement. While many traditional fighters dismiss YouTube boxing, Anthony Joshua has taken a more neutral stance. He acknowledges that YouTube boxing has brought in new fans and boosted viewership. Joshua admits that fighters like Jake Paul have played a role in expanding boxing's audience.
What do you make of this YouTube
10 out of 10.
boxing scene?
I'm telling you, it's good for boxing because it's showing people you can fight someone that is well-known, credible, can fight, marketable, without a championship and have that same effect early on in your career, and you can still get all the rewards anyway. So I think that they're showing guys, oh, hang on a minute, there's so much potential in boxing regardless of championships. And I think it's good because now people start taking more risks early on. These guys coming into the game are changing the landscape for the better, showcasing that if you have a business mind on, marketable, creative, content driven, obviously talented, you can generate big business and do great things.
Jake Paul is known for calling out boxing legends, offering them huge paydays, and then trash-talking them after their fights. Even after his loss to Tommy Fury, Paul continues to market himself as the biggest attraction in boxing, insisting that he brings unmatched attention to the sport.
Who is the most power you've ever felt in a fight?
I would say Tommy Fury. It's the shots you don't see. So Tommy was a little tricky. Mike's punches I could see coming. He was strong, but he didn't land anything clean. So I honestly didn't feel Mike Tyson's full power, but that's good. I mean, you don't want to. So
I feel like he lost confidence second round. Like he stopped giving his all.
He just started surviving.
One of the most controversial moments in Jake Paul's career was when he challenged Mike Tyson, the former heavyweight champion. Once one of the most feared fighters ever, was well past his prime when Paul suggested a fight. Although Paul later won a different fight by decision, his callout of Tyson sparked backlash. Many fans saw it as disrespectful, arguing that challenging an aging legend was a step too far.
Wasn't the Tyson-Jake fight, wasn't that amazing?
Yeah. It's amazing they got paid so much money for that.
25 million and 40 million?
I think 20 and 40. Yeah, I think that's what I'd heard. You know, which I'm happy Mike got the money, and I'm happy that he didn't get hurt. That was my fear, that it was going to be a real fight and he was going to get hurt.
You've known him for a long time. I've known him for a long time.
I love that dude.
Me too.
And he was a larger than life figure of my childhood.
Truly, me
when
too.
I was a kid, when he was the champ, it was like people don't understand what a champ he was. Like he wasn't just the heavyweight champ of the world. He was an executioner. Like
Truly.
Every fight was just a matter
I don't
of how
remember
long was it going to
which
last.
fight it was that I went to go see a couple of fights, and I actually went to go see Julio Cesar Chavez fight, and that's when I met Tyson in the green room.
Watching Netflix on Friday night, Jake Paul, Mike Tyson?
Yes, I was. But what did I make of it? I think commercially and a business sense, I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Both men made a ton of money. So best luck to them. Congratulations. As far as the boxing fight, it wasn't a fight. It was a tip and tap. Don't hit me, I won't hit you. Circle the ring a little bit. Make it look good. That's all it was. So I don't really make too much of it.
That's all for today's video. Stay tuned for more updates.